Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Tech Data Engineer. So continuing with my Kafka series. In our past video we have seen that what is Kafka, how to create the topic, what is partitions, and how we are reading the data from Kafka topics and how we are storing to the sync system. Okay. So, and then apart from that, we understand the different terminology also, which is related to Kafka. What is broker, what is consumer, what is a producer. Okay. So in this video, we will see what is Kafka Connect. Okay. So, okay. So let us see with the. Okay. So in this video, we will see what is Kafka Connect. Okay. So Kafka Connect is nothing but it is basically a free open source component of Apache Kafka that serves as a centralized data hub for simple data integration. Okay, so this is nothing but there is a source system. See, in this example, if you'll see, there is a source system like system log, MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle. So there is a source system, there is a destination system that is called sink. So how we are integrating the data from source to sink by using the help of Kafka connector. Okay. So what we are doing, producer is producing the data to the Kafka topic that is stored on the broker, and the from broker again consumer is consuming the data. Okay, so now we have, so for writing the data to the Kafka topic, so earlier what we are doing in case of Java, we have the producer API, we have the consumer API, we are writing the microservices to write the data to the topics, and then we are reading the data from the topic and storing to the sync system. So now the these concepts came Kafka Connect. So why so with the help of Kafka Connect, you don't need to write your own custom logic, okay? Because sometimes you are getting the data from Salesforce, sometimes getting the data from BigQuery, PostgreSQL. So for every time the code is not same, okay? And that code is not scalable also. Sometimes because of data volume it get failed or it is not fault tolerance also. So every time you have to monitor, you have to test before deploying the code to the productions. Okay. So that's why from the Confluent Kafka Connect comes into picture. So Kafka Connect is a component of Apache Kafka that used to performing streamings integration between Kafka and other system. So what Kafka Connect, what it is doing? So based on your source system, suppose we have the Postgres or Salesforce or Java JDBC. So based on that, we have the Kafka Connect connectors. Okay. So we are for source system, we have the connectors we are connecting, and then the same connectors we are storing as a. So from this Kafka Connect, we have the integration with Kafka uh, topics. Okay, that is the Kafka cluster, or you can say broker also. And then again there is a Kafka Connect which is used to store the data to the sync system. Okay, suppose we have Splunk, Elastic, JDBC, Snowflake. So like based on your source system, we have the Kafka Connect connectors also. Okay, and we are using that connectors and we are doing that, and everything is maintained, monitored by the Kafka itself. Okay, so Kafka Connect is a component of Apache Kafka that is used to perform a streaming integration between Kafka and other system. Okay, so Kafka Connect, what it is doing, it is taking the data from your source system, storing to the Kafka topic, and this work is done. Then again the source system, but this sync system, there is a Kafka Connect which is taking the data from that and then it is storing. Okay, so we will see what is the benefit of that, why we are using Kafka Connect instead of like old producer API or consumer API. We'll see that. So Kafka Connect is a component of Apache Kafka that is used to perform streaming integration between Kafka and other systems such as database, cloud service, indexes, file system, and key value bearer. So Kafka connects come with the pre-built connectors, which I have already told for each and everything like MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle, and everything. There is a pre-built connector. Okay, so and also it will also suppose your source system which is not the connector is not available for that, then it allow you to write your own custom connectors also. Okay, there is some certain patterns which you can take the help of their documentations like doc.confluence.ai, confluent.ai. So if you log in there, you will get the document documentations how to create the connectors for that. So you'll get that. Okay. So Kafka Connect handles a streaming data pipeline, allowing you to ingest source connector and sink connector data from Kafka. Okay. So this is your Kafka. You can consider this is a Kafka cluster, or you can consider Kafka broker. And under broker, we have the different topics. So what connectors is doing, taking data from source system, storing to the topic, and that topic we have the Kafka Connect sync system. It is taking the data and it is whatever the things they have to do, it is doing. Suppose it is storing this like Salesforce or Snowflake or Amazon S3 anywhere. Okay, with minimal custom code. Okay, so Kafka connectors make it easy to stream data from numerous sources into Kafka and stream data out of Kafka to numerous targeted. Okay, so the diagram which we have already shown here, this will explain the simple way. It's a multiple source connectors, multiple source system, multiple sync system. So for every source system we have the source connectors, for every sync system we have the sync connector. Okay. So now we will see what is the feature of Kafka. So one feature I already told, scalability. Okay. So if you write your own custom logic code, then that time might be your system is not scalable. So if you are using the Kafka Connect, it is scalable. Work in both standalone, single worker mode or distributed mode also. Fault tolerance, built-in offset management task, rebalancing for resilience. So you don't need to worry about the fault tolerance. It support the schema also, so integrate with the confluence schema registry. Suppose source and destination system at the different schema, it will integrate the confluent schema registry to manage schema evaluations. Okay, then we have REST API related Kafka Connect Expose REST API for managing the connectors. We have the pluggable architecture, so custom architect connectors also converted can be easily developed by the developer. Okay, so these are the benefit of using the Kafka Connect over the traditional system. Now, what is the architecture of Kafka Connect? So Kafka Connect works with the two mode, standalone mode and distributed mode. So a standalone mode we are using only for the testing purpose, like there is a single source and sync system and single topic, single partitions. In distributed mode, that is basically we use for productions. If you are the multiple source system, multiple configurations required. Suppose there are data coming from IoT, data coming from the sensor, data coming from the some different DV, and there's a different source destination system also. Some data we wanted to store as a for dashboarding purpose, some is a data lake house. So different source, different system, and there in between there is a multiple Kafka topics and partitions also there. Okay, so that's why for productions we are using the distributed mode. Now we can see what are the component of Kafka Connect. So Kafka Connect, we have the first is the connector. So for every source system like MySQL, we have the MySQL connector. So connector basically define the logic of how to get data from or send data to external system. Okay. So under that we need to define the task. So task is a subset of work divided from a connector to run in parallel. Then there is a worker, process that execute connector and task, that is called worker. Then we have the converter. So converter basically used for serializing or deserializing the data. Okay. Then we have the transformation. So from any transformation logic, simple logic applied to a message like renaming, filtering, we have the SMT. Okay. So these are the five component for of a Kafka Connect. Now, then we will see type of Kafka connectors. So there are two types of connectors we have already seen: source connector, sync connector. Source connector, what it will do? So suppose there is a example we have reading data from the external system into Kafka. So MySQL is the external system. Kafka Connect, it is taking the data and storing to the Kafka. Then we have sync system. What it will do? It will take the data from Kafka and write to the external system. So it is taking data from Kafka based on the Postgres connectors, and it will write into the S3. Okay, so these are the things. So now let us understand with the simple scenario. So so you are a data engineer. The task given that you have the traditional MySQL database and you need to take the data and you need to store to the BigQuery. So how you will do? First, for MySQL, you need to create the source connector. Okay, so what source connector it will do? It will read data from MySQL table using the like this is one of the applications, or you can say tool it will use divisions for CDC. Okay, Then Kafka store the data into topic. So based from the connector, source connector, we are taking data, storing to the topic, and that topic is consumed by BigQuery source connector. This is consuming the data from the Kafka topic and writing into BigQuery dataset. Okay, so these are the simple thing. We need to for MySQL, we need to create the source connector, and for BigQuery, we need to create the source sync connector. So if you will open confluent.io, so there is a demo video also. You will see how to create and also there is a simple drag and drop service. Okay, no code, low code. You don't need to code any code and so anyone can use that source and sync connector and they can migrate the data. Now, if you'll see the real-time integration, so what is the benefit of that? So benefit is basically real-time data integration from OLTP system to data warehouse. So suppose here there is a MySQL is a OLTP system and then BigQuery is a data warehouse. So we are using for that scalable. So you don't need to without you don't need to write your custom logic. So scalable is also you don't need to worry about that. A schema evaluation is handled by a schema registry, Confluent schema registry. So these are the benefit of that. Now the scenario is when to use Kafka Connect. So Kafka Connect is used when you wanted to integrate Kafka with external system. Okay, so database, file system, and all. So if you don't want to write the manual ETL script, you can use that. Then if there is a fault tolerance monitoring and scalability is the issue, you can use the Kafka Connect. Okay. So these are the brief about Kafka Connect. So in upcoming video we will see or I'll give you the details of link where you can see the demo video and you can utilize the Kafka Connect in our project. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for watching.